All right, let's get right into it. The clock is ticking. Your exam is literally hours away, and you need a battle plan. This is not about rereading your textbook. Nope. This is a last-minute, high-impact briefing on how to score the most marks fast. Welcome to the Pareto Protocol.
I'm serious. Put the textbook down. The time for that is over. Right now, every single minute is precious, and you can't afford to waste it on stuff that's not going to be on the paper. I know you're stressed, but we're going to channel that panic into a much smarter approach.
So, here's the mission. We are going to laser focus on that tiny slice of the syllabus that year after year delivers the biggest chunk of the marks. We're skipping the fluff and going straight for the high-value targets. This is all about the mechanics of scoring.
So where do we find this magic 20% in Unit 1, Management of Sporting Events? Well, if you look at the board papers from the last few years, the answer is screaming at you. It really just comes down to two major things.
And boom, this chart tells the whole story. Look at it. The huge majority of marks in this unit, we're talking 5, sometimes even 9 marks, come from drawing fixtures correctly and understanding committees. You get these two things right, and you've basically conquered the unit. Everything else is just details.
Okay, let's jump into the first high-value target, fixtures. This is where so many students bleed easy marks, and it's not because the concepts are hard. It's because of a few simple, sneaky formula traps. So let's disarm them right now.
First things first, you cannot get these two mixed up. In a knockout tournament, you lose once, you're out. The number of matches is always just the number of teams minus 1. Simple. But for a league tournament, where every team plays every other team, it's n times n minus 1 divided by 2. That divided by 2 is absolutely critical. Why? Because when Team A plays Team B, that's the same match as Team B playing Team A. Don't double count.
Now, before we even think about drawing a fixture, you have to get your head around the buy. A buy isn't some random free pass. It's a tool. Its one and only job is to make the number of teams a perfect power of 2. 4, 8, 16, 32. This makes sure the whole tournament bracket just works with no awkward empty spots in the later rounds.
Let's make this real with a classic exam number. Say you have 21 teams. What's the next power of 2 up from 21? Well, you got 2, 4, 8, 16, boom, 32. So the math is dead simple. 32 minus 21 gives you 11. That means you need exactly 11 buys to make the fixture work. That's it.
And here's the part that can make or break your score. This right here, this is not a suggestion. It is a strict rule. You can't just sprinkle the buys wherever you feel like it. You have to follow this exact sequence. If you mess this order up, the entire fixture falls apart, and the examiner will just put a big red X through the whole thing. That's 5 marks gone, instantly.
So to make sure you never forget that sequence in the heat of the exam, you need to burn this into your brain. BTBLTU. The first buy goes to the very bottom team. Second, to the very top team. Third, to the bottom of the lower half. Fourth, to the top of the upper half. BTBLTU. Just repeat that pattern until all your buys are placed.
All right, let's switch over to the cyclic method for league tournaments. This is actually super simple. You just have to ask yourself one question. Is the number of teams odd or even? If it's even, you lock team 1 in place and rotate everybody else around it. If it's odd, you lock a buy in place and rotate all the teams around that. It's that black and white.
But hey, here's a massive pro tip for you. If the exam question lets you choose how to draw a league fixture, always, and I mean always, pick the staircase method. Why? Because there's no math, no buys, no confusing rotations. You just draw the steps. It is by far the safest and most foolproof way to get full marks on that question. Period.
Okay, let's pivot to our next high-value area, committees. And listen, the trick here isn't just memorizing what each committee does. The real key is knowing when they do it. Understanding this timeline changes everything.
This timeline right here explains it perfectly. Let's take the Finance Committee. Before the event even starts, in the pre-event phase, their main job is setting a budget. But after the event is over, in the post-event phase, their job completely changes. Now they're auditing the books and writing reports. See? Same committee, totally different jobs depending on the clock. So what you need to do is train your brain to spot keywords in the exam question. It's like a word association game. If you see the word dispute or protest, you should instantly think technical committee. If you see announcements or press release, that's publicity. If you see shuttling athletes or getting teams from the hotel, that's transport. Match the keyword, get the mark.
Okay,
listen up, because this next one is a classic 3-mark question that comes up all the time. It's easy marks, but only if you don't overthink it and you focus on the core purpose of each one.
Let's make this really simple. Intra means inside. Mural means walls. So intramural literally means sports inside the walls of your school. The whole point is mass participation, getting everyone involved. Think inter-house competitions. Extramural means outside the walls. Its goal is elite performance, finding the best athletes to represent the school against other schools. So intramurals find the talent, and extramurals test that talent.
Now, this is another spot where students just leave easy marks on the table. A case study will describe some community event, and you just have to pick the right objective. The names sound kind of similar, but their goals are totally different. Here's your decoder ring for these questions. Ignore the name and look for the purpose in the question. If the goal is just about enjoyment and having a good time, it's a run for fun. If the goal is about fitness awareness, it's a health run. But if you see words like brotherhood, harmony, or national integration, bam, it is always run for unity, every single time.
All right, we've hit all the highest value concepts. We've covered the stuff that gets you the most points. So to wrap this whole thing up, here is your final rapid-fire checklist. This is the stuff you absolutely need to have locked in your brain as you walk into that exam.
Okay, let's go. Number 1. For by placement, it's BTBLTU. Don't forget it. 2. In the cyclic method, an odd number of teams means you fix the by. An even number means you fix team 1. 3. If you see the word dispute in a question, the answer is always the technical committee. 4. Intramural means mass participation inside the walls. 5. When in doubt on a league fixture, the staircase method is your safest bet.
And that's it. That's the protocol. We've boiled down years of exam papers into the stuff that actually gets you points. The traps are identified, the strategy is clear. You have the tools. So the only question is, can you use them? Grab a piece of paper, try it. You're more ready than you think. Now go get those marks.